Damn, Daniel, back at it again with a fresh podcast.
You fuck with Breaking Bad at all?
Woo! We just took this party to the fucking next level. That's great sex is going too. What are you doing in the corner? Just smacking my hand together.
It scared me so bad I got a boner.
I am shocked by this air coming out of my ass.
I puke my guts out.
Is there a bomb dropping back there? Run, guys!
I'll hit an old man in public.
I am your fucking savior.
The Nerd Shed Podcast.
Hello, this is the Nerd Shed Podcast. I'm Matt. This is episode 59 of the Nerd Shed. As always, you can like Nerd Shed on our Facebook page. I think it's just facebook.com/nerdshed. We have an Instagram, the Nerd Shed. Nerdshed.net is our website if you want more info. You can watch the podcast on our YouTube channel. We have a Twitter, but I don't think that's active at all. I don't even know if we've tweeted one time, to be honest with you. Now, if you are a diehard Nerd Shed listener, you're probably thinking to yourself, where's Justin at? Justin is not here, obviously. Him and I, we were talking about ways to make the podcast better, things we can change and stuff like that, and we just had some creative disagreements and decided, you know what? Let's just part ways. So Justin's not here anymore. So you just got to deal with me. I'm going to keep this podcast going. I'm going to ride it out. No, I'm just kidding with you guys. Justin is taking just a rest. I guess he had a hard week. So he just said, hey bro, can we skip the podcast this week? And I said, yeah, sure. No problem. But like I said, I'm going to keep it going. I didn't want to skip a week. I enjoy doing this. It's something fun. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. I don't have a lot to talk about, so this might be 20 minutes. This might be an hour. I don't know. I'm just gonna ramble on. Just like I said last time I did an episode by myself. I'm just a crazy guy in a shed talking to no one. But unlike last time, I am filming this, so there might be a Nerd Shed TV, but there might not be. I don't know. So there's a lot up in the air with this episode. But speaking of days off, I wanted to bring up mental health days, because I saw something on Facebook a couple days ago. It kind of irritated me. Someone that I'm friends with on Facebook, they posted something about when they were younger, mental health days weren't a thing. So him growing up without mental health days gave him a better work ethic. So he's equating taking a mental health day to laziness, and that's not what it's about. I've taken mental health days before. Sometimes you just get so mentally drained you can't do anything, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just need to take a day, sit on the couch, and watch TV. And that's it. Don't think about anything else. Just sit there and stare at a TV screen for 12 hours. Sometimes your body just needs that. Your body and your mind. My wife will be the first to speak to this. I literally never stop. Like, I can't just sit there and watch TV. I am go, go, go. I come home from work, and then I need to do something. I need to either play guitar or do yard work or clean or just do something. I can't just come home and sit and relax for the rest of the evening. I just go, go, go. But being like that, something I've noticed about myself, I'm go, 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 and then eventually, just like I was saying before, I just burn out. And then there'll be a day where I'm like, okay, I can't do anything. And then I'll take that day, recharge myself, and then the next day it's just go, 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 go all the time until I burn out again. Do I know when it's going to happen? Never. It always catches me by surprise. I'll come home from work like on a Wednesday and just fall asleep. I don't plan to. It just happens. So yeah, I feel like mental health days are important, and I feel like they should be an official thing. Like you get your sick days at work, you get your paid time off, you get your vacation days, whatever. They should have mental health day in there, so that like you don't have to make up an excuse. You don't have to call into your boss and say, "Hey, I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm taking today off." Just call and say, "Using one of my mental health days," and just make it to where they can't say anything. You just say, "Okay, see you tomorrow." Nope, sorry. Yeah, and as always with the Nerd Shed podcast, I'm not going to edit this. If I say something stupid or something that's not funny, or something that doesn't make sense, I'm not cutting it out. It's just going to stay in there. So the only thing that I really had to talk about with you guys this week, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is located in Cleveland, Ohio, which I live about 20 minutes south of Cleveland. They announced the nominees for its newest class of inductees. And it's actually a pretty good list here. So yeah, let's talk about that. We have on this list. So these are the nominees. The artists who are actually getting inducted will be announced in January, and then the ceremony will be in Cleveland on May 2nd of 2020. I'm pretty sure they only actually do it in Cleveland every few years. I think the rest of the time they do it in New York, but yeah, I think it's cool when they do it in Cleveland. So the nominees for the class of 2020 are Pat Benatar, good nominee. This one, I'm not the biggest fan of Dave Matthews Band. I get that they have a huge following and that like a lot of stoners like Dave, you know, they're always, whenever Dave comes to town, all the stoners are always like, "Oh, bro, we got to go see Dave, bro. Dave's coming. We got to go see Dave." But I don't think Dave Matthews Band is anything special at all, but you know, some people like him, some people don't. Depeche Mode, I feel like that's a good pick. The Doobie Brothers, I don't know a lot about the Doobie Brothers. I feel like they're probably before my time. I'm pretty sure they had a song in Rock Band, which that's how like a lot of people in their 20s, I feel like, because you know I'm 27. I feel like a lot of people in their 20s learned a lot about classic rock from games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. So that's the only reason why I know who the Doobie Brothers are. And honestly, I don't even remember what song it was that was in Rock Band. Whitney Houston. And I know that one, I've heard a lot of people talking about that's kind of controversial because it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Whitney Houston is known as a pop singer from the 80s. But the thing is, within the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's a wide variety of artists because before rock music was really a thing, like you need to recognize the people that came before rock music. So there's a lot of jazz, a lot of blues, a lot of gospel artists that influenced the early rock bands. So I don't know a lot about Whitney Houston, to be honest, but I have heard that before she blew up as this pop star that she was, that she did some other stuff. I feel like she was like R&B or something like that, which again, I just said blues and jazz and stuff. Well, you know, R&B, rhythm and blues also kind of paved the way for rock music. And you always need to recognize what came before you. So after Whitney Houston, we have Judas Priest, Which I feel like that's a good pick. Judas Priest, they're pretty well known. I don't know as far as like influentialness and stuff. I don't know about that. I know they started in the 70s and then, were really big throughout the 80s. I'm pretty sure they're still making new stuff. Because I don't know if Rob Halford came back because I think he left for a while. I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, this is going to be the podcast episode where Matt just Googles stuff. Yeah, so they're from the UK. They formed in 1969. I did not know that. Yeah, Rob Halford did vocals from 73 to 92 and then came back in 2003. I think the only original member from 1969 is the bass player, it looks like. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, there was a guy from Akron, which isn't too far from Cleveland, who sang for Judas Priest for a while. His name was Tim Ripper Owens. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave like 5 seconds of dead audio there. I was reading something. But yeah, they have... Judas Priest has a lot of big hits. Like Breaking the Law is probably their most popular. But then they have, I think, Living After Midnight. Isn't that Judas Priest? Oh, hold on. I want to see their singles. Let's look. Yeah, Breaking the Law in the 80s. Oh, this has like all their singles, like none of their... It doesn't have just a list of their hits. Yeah, Painkiller, a lot of people know from Rock Band. That was like the hardest song on the drums in Rock Band. Oh yeah, You've Got Another Thing Coming. Yeah, and then Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight. Those are all pretty big hits. And it looks like they covered Johnny B. Good. Nice. So back to the list here. After Judas Priest, we have Kraftwerk, which I don't know a lot about Kraftwerk. The only thing I know about them is I think they formed in the 70s. And they were like the first guys. They're from Germany, and they were like the first guys to do just like all electronic music. So they'd have like drum loops and synthesizers and all that kind of stuff, and that's how they make their music, and they kind of paved the way for a lot of that heavy electronic stuff in the 80s, like because I think techno started in like the late 80s. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I could be talking out of my ass on that one, but yeah, so those are the guys that like pioneered electronic music though. So I feel like they should definitely get in. Even though, again, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, why are you going to put the pioneers of electronic music into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because rock music, especially now, if you listen to the radio, rock music has so much production to it now. It's not just... it's no longer just guitar, drums, bass, and your vocalist like back in the day. Every single rock song has some type of production added to it. So after them is MC5, which I recognize the name. MC5, but I couldn't tell you anything about them. I don't even know if I know any of their songs. But they're from Michigan. They formed in 1964. It looks like the only really big song they have that has its own Wikipedia page for the song is Kick Out the Jams. Yeah, I don't know. So I can't speak on MC5. Literally don't know anything. Motorhead is on the list. Motorhead's good. Obviously, everybody knows Lemmy. I feel like he's like a rock icon. But really, Ace of Spades is the only thing that I can tell you about Motorhead. Ace of Spades, and then I know I was really into wrestling when I was younger. And they did Triple H's theme song for the WWF. It was called The Game. And that song was hard, dude. I loved that song when I was a little kid. After Motorhead, 9 Inch Nails, solid choice. Trent Reznor's from Ohio. And really, they were just part of that whole industrial rock scene in the 90s. And obviously, they have a ton of hit songs. Trent Reznor he scored a few movies. I think he did the score for the Facebook movie. What was it called? The Social Network. He did the score for that, and he's done the score for a couple other ones. I can't remember which ones right now, though. But, yeah. 9 Inch Nails, I think, is definitely a solid pick. The Notorious B.I.G., again, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why is Biggie on the list? Honestly, I don't have like a justification for that one. Because obviously rock was around for, 30 years before Biggie even came on the scene. But I don't know, I'm trying to think, because I've been to the Rock Hall a couple times. I'm trying to think of if there's any real big hip hop artists in there. Like, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't know if Beastie Boys are in there or not. But Beastie Boys, they started out as like a punk band and then like turned into a rap group. Not exactly sure how it happened, but I mean, obviously listening to Beastie Boys, you can hear a lot of rock influence in their music. Yeah, I feel like Biggie should be in some type of Hall of Fame, but I don't know if it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because he was like the first rapper to bring the hook into it, like the singing poppy hook for the radio, because he was produced by Diddy, or at the time he was Puff Daddy. But he was the first rapper to have like a R&B singer come on and sing the hook on his track. And then obviously like his flow was just so effortless, and that's really what he's known for. And then of course the whole West Coast, East Coast feud with Tupac and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Like he definitely needs to be recognized somehow. And I feel like he has been recognized a ton. But I don't know about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's a tough call. Excuse me. So, after Biggie is Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. I know the name Shaka Khan. That's it. Don't know anything else about it. So, I'm not even gonna bother Wikipediaing that one. We're just gonna leave it that I know nothing about it. After that is Todd Rundgren. We're gonna have to Google this guy because I have no idea. Let's see. Multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, record producer, and is a member of the band Utopia. So let's see. He produced Badfinger, Half Nelson, New York Dolls, Grand Funk Railroad, Hall & Oates, Meatloaf, The Tubes, The Psychedelic Furs, Cheap Trick, Cheap Trick, Bad Religion, 12 Rods, and then he's put out a ton of solo albums. Does he have any songs that I would recognize? Hold on here, bear with me. Yeah, I honestly am not recognizing any of these song titles. But they're also very generic song titles, so you might put it on and be like, oh. Here, let's go to the Spotify and see what his most streamed song is. Let's see, Todd Rundgren. Let's see this part. I'm gonna play this. I might have to cut this out so that it doesn't get flagged, but I'm just gonna play this really quick and see. Okay, I do recognize that song. Pretty sure they play that at Drug Mart all the time when I work there. Yeah, so can't really speak much to that one. Soundgarden is next on the list. Out of all the grunge bands, so I'm assuming Nirvana's already in. Here, let's just see. Is Nirvana in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yeah, their first year of eligibility, they were inducted. That was in 2014. But yeah, out of like Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, I don't know. I really like STP. I don't know if they're in or not. I'm not gonna Google every grunge band and see which ones in are in and not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, I feel like Chris Cornell is such a great vocalist. They definitely deserve to be in there. T-Rex, I recognize the name. Don't know anything else. And then Thin Lizzy. A lot of people really like Thin Lizzy. And I don't understand why, because The Boys Are Back in Town, to me, is one of the most annoying songs ever. I cannot stand it. But I've heard people say like, The Boys Are Back in Town is one of the best songs ever. And I feel like there's a lot of other songs that you could pick before The Boys Are Back in Town. yeah, again, it's just really annoying to me. So let's see. Out of that list, I feel like the shoo-ins, I don't know how many get picked. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I don't know how many get picked, but I feel like for sure you have to do Pat Benatar. I'll just do 5. The top 5 that I feel should go in are Pat Benatar, Kraftwerk, Motorhead, 9 Inch Nails, and last one's a hard pick. I don't know, I'd probably give it to Soundgarden just because I feel like that'd be cool for them to do that for Chris Cornell. But yeah, we'll wait and see. In January when it gets announced, we'll see if I'm right or not. Probably not going to be right. Because those things are so, I feel like it's so political. Like when you watch the Grammys, there's always on the album of the year, there's like 3 big names on there, and then there's some guy that no one's ever heard of. And then you're like, oh, for sure, so-and-so's gonna get it. That song off that album was huge over the past year, and then the guy that no one's ever heard of ends up winning it. So yeah, like that Todd Rundgren guy is probably gonna get in. And it's like, okay, the guy has 1 song. I get that he's produced a lot for people, and it'd be cool if producers got that kind of recognition, but I feel like they never do. They never do. Okay, so enough on that. I rambled about that for like fucking 25 minutes. Holy shit. So it is Halloween time. I wish Justin was here to talk about this. Ghost stories. If you have a ghost story, if you've legit had like a paranormal experience, I would love for you to email in your story to us. That's thenerdshedpodcast@gmail.com. We've never received an email from anybody, but it'd be cool if over the next week someone could email in a ghost story so that we could read it on the last episode of October. I only have a couple. The one's not a real ghost story. It's just really funny. But then the other one's a real ghost story. So in high school, in my one science class, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like chemistry or something like that. For like an end of the year project, just something fun to do that wasn't related to chemistry. The teacher wanted everybody to do a presentation on I believe he called it a pseudoscience. So something that people study that isn't really recognized as a legit science. And so I did ghost. That was mine. And I'm putting together this PowerPoint presentation, reading all these stories on the internet about all these crazy things that happened at like all these haunted locations and stuff. And I'm working on this for about a week. And the one day I was working on it, I got home from school. Both my parents were at work. And I'm home alone and I'm reading some type of crazy story. I can't remember, it was some haunted location. all these people died there, and now when people go there, they see all these crazy things, they hear all these crazy sounds, they feel the cold air, they feel something touch their shoulder or whatever. I'm reading all this stuff, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. And as I'm doing this, somehow my dog sneaks into my room without me hearing her and walks up and like rests her chin right on my leg, like on my thigh. And it freaked me out so bad. I jumped out of my chair. I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, and it was just crazy because I was just so in the zone reading this, and I'm sweating and my heart's beating, and then all of a sudden I feel something brush up against my leg. Freaked me the hell out, man. So yeah, that's that story. And then a few years ago, I don't know, it's probably more than a few years ago. I feel like it was probably like 5 years ago. We went to the Mansfield Reformatory in Ohio for Halloween, and that's like one of the most haunted locations in America or something like that. And they do, I think it's called like Blood Prison or something like that, to where they turn the old jail or old prison into a haunted house. So basically you get to walk through and tour the prison, but they have like people dressed up, popping out and scaring you and stuff. Which I feel like you really don't need. The place is scary as shit on its own. You don't need a bunch of props and decorations and people walking around dressed up like monsters and stuff, popping out and scaring you. Just fucking walk through the place is eerie enough. But we go and we're walking through, and like I said, it's scary enough without all the haunted stuff. Like they like walked us through the solitary confinement, and that was just fucking freaky. That looked like something out of a horror movie. It was wild. But then we're walking through one of the cell blocks, and I'm walking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the shadow. And so I look, and like there's a shadow there, and I'm looking around, and there's like nobody or like no light shining or anything that would like make the shadow. Like it was just a shadow on its own, nothing creating it. And I'm looking at it for like 2 or 3 seconds going like, what the fuck? Where's the shadow coming from? What is that? And then Autumn, my wife, she goes, is it just me or did it just get really cold all of a sudden? And I look at her when she says that, and then I turn my head. So like she says that, I look, and then I look back at the shadow, and the shadow was gone. And I have no idea how to explain it, but I feel like it was a ghost of some sort. Don't know if it's a bad ghost, good ghost. I don't know. But I wish that there was like some way to prove absolutely like if there were ghosts or not. Because like I feel like they are. Like when someone asks me like, do you believe in ghosts? I usually say like, hell yeah. Just because like there's so much shit that has happened involving that's like not explainable. But then also I feel like with all these paranormal investigators and stuff, and like all the different TV shows they've had, and all the people that do it in their free time, like as a hobby, studying ghosts and stuff, I feel like somebody by now would have had some type of like absolute proof, like, hey, this proves that ghosts are real. But yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that we might never know. Kind of like aliens. Like, there's no way that we're the only people in the universe. Or like only highly intelligent being or whatever you want to call it in the universe. There has to be some type of alien, and I'm not talking like the aliens from the movies with like the big round heads and big eyes and space flying saucers and all that kind of stuff, but like there has to be something equal to us out there. And that's just wild to think about. So enough on the ghost talk. Let's see. Just trying it out. Like I said, I didn't know how long this was going to be. We're at about 36 minutes right now. So just to round it out, I guess we'll do this because we haven't done one of these in a while. And I guess that'll be a good thing just to round out the show with. And that's one of our famous lyrical analysis. Again, I wish Justin was here for this too, because he really makes this shit funny. But I'll try and make it funny for you guys. I'm not making any promises though. This could be like the lamest shit ever. This whole episode could be the lamest shit ever. Because honestly, I don't remember anything that I've said so far. I've just been rambling. Okay, so we're gonna do... Here, let me play the intro for you guys, if it's even still on here. Yeah, here we go.
My son, have you heard the word of God?
No, but the dudes on the Nerd Shed explain song lyrics to me every week.
I made this like Mortal Kombat sounding beat like fucking... I want to say that it was like right after I graduated high school, so like this beat is like 10 years old and this is the only thing it's ever been used for. And it was before I even really got into music production. I just pirated software off the internet and was playing around with it and somehow came up with this. And I think it's pretty dope. Yeah, so the song we're gonna do is Highest in the Room by Travis Scott. This is the #1 song in the country right now, and I've never heard it. It's the #1 song in the country. I've yet to hear it. Don't know what any of the lyrics are. So we're gonna go through it because we did Sicko Mode by Travis Scott when that was, I don't know, I don't think it was #1 when we did it. I think it was like #3 or something like that. But I really liked that song. But I honestly think that Sicko Mode is the only Travis Scott song I've ever heard. The only thing that I know about Travis Scott is he's married to one of the what is it? Kylie Jenner or the other one? I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up either. So the song starts out, I got room in my fumes, yeah. Right off the rip, I don't know what that means. I got room in my fumes. Does that mean, because highest in the room, so I assume he's talking about like weed smoke as fumes, right? But he's saying I got room in my fumes. So is he trying to say like he can make more weed clouds or something? I don't know. So I got room in my fumes, yeah. She filled my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room, it's lit. Hope I make it out of here, let's go. So I'm assuming she filled my mind up with ideas. I assume he's saying that when he gets high, he gets creative. And they say, I'm the highest in the room. So by that, obviously, he's saying that he's higher than anybody else that's there with him. But what, do you know what'd be hilarious? Of this song, Highest in the Room, people are hearing it and they're like, oh yeah, he's talking about getting, you know, baked and being the highest guy in the room out of like all his buddies that he's smoking with. But what if he wrote a song just like, he was like up on a ladder or something, changing a light bulb or something, and then everyone else is just down on the ground, but he's up on a ladder, like he's literally the highest person in the room. That would be fucking hilarious. Because then that would make sense too. Like, she filled my mind up with ideas. Light bulb. She saw my eyes. She know I'm gone. So I'm assuming by that he's saying that you can look at him and his eyes are all red and glassy, and he's just, you can just look at him and be like, yeah, that guy's baked as fuck. And he's saying, I see some things that you might fear. So I have heard that you can get so high, you can have so much THC in your system that you actually hallucinate. But then he says, I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon. That ain't what you want to hear. So by that, so I don't understand how he can be the highest in the room, be so baked that he's hallucinating, but yeah, he's gonna go out and put on a concert. I'd be pissed if I paid for that ticket. Like, I've been to shows actually where you can tell that like the lead singer of the band is drunk as fuck, and like when you notice that about a person, that's all you pay attention to. Like, you're not like looking at the drummer or the guitar player and being like, oh yeah, you know, these guys are really rocking. You're just watching this guy stumble around on the stage drunk as fuck, trying to remember the words to his songs. It's not enjoyable. All right, so next line after that. Now I got her in my room, legs wrapped around my beard. So I'm assuming by that he's talking about Munch and Box, but I don't know. Because then I was hoping the next line would put that a little bit more into context. But then he says, so now I got her in my room, legs wrapped around my beard. Got the fastest car at Zoom. And then in parentheses is an ad lib. It goes, skirt. So, and then here, I'm just going to read all those together. So he says, now I got her in my room, legs wrapped around my beard. Got the fastest car at Zoom. Hope we make it out of here. So this is confusing. I'm trying to figure this out because he's saying legs wrapped around my beard. So I'm assuming he's talking about, you know, going down. But then he says got the fastest car at Zoom. So by that logic, I'm thinking that that's like a metaphor for him being a like 2-pump chump or something. Like, he just comes fast is how I'm going to interpret that, because he's talking about, you know, going down on the girl and then fastest car. So yeah, and then hope we make it out of here. I don't know what that means. Then he says, when I'm with you, I feel alive. You say you love me, don't you lie. Won't cross my heart, don't want to die. Keep the pistol on my side. See, this is why I don't like a lot of modern rap music, is because no one sticks to one subject. They just think of stuff that rhymes and throws it all together. Because this is all one verse. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. I see some things I might fear. So yeah, he's high and hallucinating. Then he's doing a show. Then he's in the room going down on his girl. But then I don't know if the fastest car thing is him, coming quick or not. That's kind of how I like to interpret it, though, just because that's funnier to me. But let's assume that he is talking about, like, getting in a fast car. So, hold on, let me restart. I lost my train of thought. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. So, this girl knows he's high. He's hallucinating. He's doing a show. He's in the room coming quick. Or, I'm sorry, I already fucked up. Because I said that we were going to say that he was in a car. So let me go back one more time. Let's try this again. She saw my eyes. She knows I'm gone. So this girl knows that he's high. Then he's hallucinating. Then he's doing a show. Then he's in the room munching box. Then he's in the car going fast. Then he's with the girl feeling alive, but he's not going to cross his heart because he doesn't want to die. But then he has the pistol on his side. Makes zero fucking sense. Zero fucking sense. So then he goes to the chorus and says, case its fumes. She fill up my mind with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. I'm pretty sure he was probably fucking baked when he wrote this song because it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But I feel like there's people who have been more baked than Travis Scott and have written better music. So then he says, we ain't stressing about the loot. Alright, we ain't stressing about the loot. My block made of K Sierra. Which is, hold on, I have the annotations here of the lyrics, just in case there's something I don't understand. K Sierra is Spanish for cheese shop or cheese factory. So what he's saying is his block, which I'm assuming is his neighborhood, is made of money. So he says, we ain't stressing about the loot. My block made of K Sierra. This not the molly, this the boot. Ain't no coming back from here. So I wonder if he bends those words somehow to make that flow and rhyme. Like you got loot and boot, but then you got K Sierra and here. So I don't know. Live the life of La Familia. It's so much gang that I can't see ya. Yeah. So La Familia is a drug cartel. But then it's so much gang that I can't see ya. I don't know what that means. So then he says, turn it up till they can't hear. Which I know, I know this because other rappers have used this, they call weed loud. So I'm assuming that he's talking about smoking it up till they're so high that nothing else matters. Running round for the thrill. Yeah, dog round my reel. But then he ad-libs in their gang. So, running round for the thrill. Yeah, dog round my reel, gang. And then he says, raw, I've been pouring the real drank. Then, nah, they not back of the VIP. Gorgeous baby, keep me hard as steel. Honestly, dude, I'm at the point to where I don't know what any of this means. We'll go back through and summarize in a minute. This my life I did not choose. Been on this since we was kids. We gonna stay on top and break the rules. I fill my mind up with ideas. So literally, like, none of that verse rhymes except for loot and boot and then reel and steal. So, to summarize verse 2 of this wonderfully written song, he's not stressing about money because his neighborhood is made of money. Then he says, this not the molly, this the boot. Ain't no coming back from here. So I'm assuming he's talking about, again, smoking weed and like being so high that he's never coming down or something. Then he says that he lives the life of this drug cartel, which I highly doubt. But then it's so much gang, I can't see. I don't know what that means. I'm not that hood that I would know what that means. And then we already talked about the turn it up till they can't hear line. But then he says something about, I'm around my real friends and I've been pouring drank, so I'm assuming that they're drinking lean now. So they were smoking weed, now they're drinking lean. And then they're not in the back of the VIP. So that means that they're in the front of the VIP. And then gorgeous baby, keep me hard to steal. So now so he went from being on the block, made of money, living the life of the drug cartel, to drinking lean, or well, he was smoking weed a couple lines, like literally 2 lines before he says he's drinking lean in the VIP watching strippers, I'm guessing. So he says, this my life I did not choose, been on this since we was kids. We gonna stay on top breaking the rules, I fill my mind up with ideas. I have no explanation for that whatsoever. And then again, the chorus, case it's fumes, you fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room, hope I make it out of here. I don't understand. Like, it makes no sense. I just don't get it. Just stick to a subject and write about it. Don't be like, oh, that line rhymes, so I'm going to put that next. Okay, but anyway, I've been rambling on to myself for almost 54 minutes now. So I think I'm going to cut it here. And Justin should hopefully be back on the show next week. But don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe to the videos on our YouTube channel, Nerdshed TV. You can email us, thenerdshedpodcast@gmail.com. I'm being serious about emailing in any ghost stories you have. And that's all we got. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
That's it for the Nerd Shed this week. Make sure to like and subscribe, and tune back in next week for more random shit.